these officers find themselves on the opposite end of the laws they were sworn to uphold.
5 officers, including the Hannibal police chief, arrested following an extensive probe into the department.
But first, I want to tell you the grand jury's findings and recommendations, which were unanimous and made public by the grand jury. Number 1, that any current or former officer of Hannibal Police Department indicted be suspended from law enforcement by the Alabama Peace Officers Standards and Training Commission. Number 2, that the Hannibal Police Department be immediately abolished.
This is the worst police department ever. So picture this, a small town police department acting less like law enforcement and more like a discount cartel. The whole police force got put on blast for acting like a criminal enterprise instead of, protecting and serving. The evidence room is a total joke. We're talking about broomsticks jimmying open doors, missing drugs, and a dispatcher overdosing in his own office because of this chaos. It's like a live action episode of Bizarro Cops, where everyone is the bad guy. A grand jury didn't just recommend fixing things. They basically said burn it all down, salt the earth, and pretend this disaster never happened.
Number 3, that another law enforcement agency, whether local or state, be tasked with protecting the citizens of Hannibal. Number 4, based upon the investigation by the State Bureau of Investigation, we, the grand jury, find that the Hannibal Police Department is a particular and ongoing threat to public safety. Number 5, that there is a rampant culture of corruption in the Hannibal Police Department, which has recently operated as more of a criminal enterprise than a law enforcement agency.
A law enforcement agency so ridiculously corrupt, it made criminals that they were supposed to arrest look like amateurs. And here's the highlight reel of what they found. Officers were tampering with evidence, stealing drugs, and running their department like a frat house with no adult supervision.
Eric and Donna Kelso are accused of distributing certain drugs to other individuals, including some of these other defendants.
Dispatcher Chris Willingham died from a fentanyl overdose, thanks to the department's failure to secure evidence. And again, that's not just incompetence, that's deadly. This man died.
That the death of former Hannibal dispatcher Chris Willingham is the direct result of Hannibal Police Department's negligence, lack of procedure, general incompetence, and disregard for human life.
The coroner released to us that his cause of death was due to fentanyl, right? So are you trying to say here maybe fentanyl was not kept in a secure place that may have led to maybe too much exposure to Mr. Willingham's death?
Well, I would just say that nothing was secure about the evidence room, and when Mr. Willingham was discovered, there was evidence in his office.
Chris Willingham's fentanyl overdose in his own office isn't just tragic, but it's actually insane. How does a police dispatcher end up dead from drugs that was supposed to be locked up as evidence? When the evidence room is run like a free-for-all, this is exactly what happens. Fentanyl exposure is no joke. We're talking about a drug so powerful that even a few airborne particles can send someone into cardiac arrest. Yet, in this circus of a police department, it was being handled as casually as office supplies. If Willingham had been exposed unintentionally, that means the entire department was a walking crime scene. If he was using, that even raises more questions, bigger questions. Was he just another player in the department's drug running scheme? Regardless, the fact that the drugs made it from a quote-unquote secure evidence room into the dispatcher system is all the proof that you need that this police department wasn't securing anything. This wasn't just a failure of oversight. It was pure negligence that ended in someone dying. And now the department has a dead employee and a massive legal nightmare on their hands because every single drug-related case they handle is now in question. Turns out you don't need a key to the evidence room, just a broomstick and bad intentions. Security footage literally showed people squeezing through a hole in the wall to grab evidence like it was a Black Friday sale.
One of the most concerning things that we discovered in this process was that Hannibal Police Department's evidence room was not secure. Criminal evidence must be secured in order to have that evidence for prosecution and to ensure due process. This evidence room was anything but secure. This photo here is the outside wall to the evidence room, and you will see this hole in the evidence room. This picture was taken on August 23rd, 2024. You will also notice a broomstick in the corner that is green with a white handle on it. You will see what that broomstick was used for in this hole. And I'm not going to name the individual pictured here. This is someone who works there, and you can see this individual has this stick in his hand and is pushing it in the door, in the hole, to jimmy open the door.
5 officers, including the police chief, Jason Shane Martin, got hit with a felony and misdemeanor charges. Charges include tampering with evidence, computer crimes, and get this, using their office for personal gain. So you have the police chief involved in this, failed to report corruption because I guess he was in on it. Tampering with evidence, basically the captain of a sinking ship that ignored all of the water pouring in. You also have officers Cody Kelso and Jason Wilbanks. They got hit with computer tampering, drug-related crimes, and evidence tampering, running the police station like it's a trap house. You also have Eric and Donna Kelso, the Bonnie and Clyde of drug distribution, except instead of robbing banks, they were allegedly pushing narcotics. This is absolutely outrageous. There's no trust in law enforcement, and now the mayor is scrambling to put this PR dumpster fire away. Others are just wondering how the hell this went on for so long without anyone blowing the whistle. Meanwhile, the mayor is hitting us with the classic, "We will aggressively fix this" speech.
Hanceville's Mayor Jim Sawyer issuing a statement today, moments ago actually, saying the city will pursue and implement corrective actions, but he stopped short of saying whether they'll follow those recommendations of the grand jury.
Sure. Good luck rebuilding trust when your cops running the department like a crime syndicate. Hopefully he'll do better than the last mayor of Haynesville. He had some trouble.
Charges against the mayor of Hanceville. Kenneth Nail was indicted on 15 counts of using his office for personal gain. He was booked into the Cullman County Jail this morning.
Hanceville's mayor has resigned. Kenneth Nail has pleaded guilty to 15 counts of using his office for personal gain. Will also have to pay fines and restitution and perform 120 hours of community service. He is also prohibited from working for any public or government entity during his 15 years probation.
Here's where it gets even worse. With all of the evidence tampering, prosecutors now have to comb through every case tied to this department. That means some convicted criminals could walk away free because the chain of custody on their evidence is now as trustworthy as a used car salesman. And for those who are wondering, yes, defense attorneys are already lining up to challenge past convictions, because you can't exactly lock someone up when the evidence might have been snorted by the officer the night before. So the big question, should the Haynesville PD even exist anymore? The grand jury says no. The mayor and the city council have to make the final call, but at this point, they might as well flip a coin because public trust is shot. Meanwhile, the Cullman County Sheriff's Office is prepping to step in if the department gets the axe. The Haynesville PD didn't just fail their community, they're actively harming the community, and now they're paying the price. Whether that means a complete destruction of the department or just a painful rebuild, one thing's for sure, Haynesville isn't going to forget this anytime soon. Let me know in the comments what you think about this situation. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.